qualification for the playoffs, but it's all about the important seeding that's up for grabs here this evening. These teams, well, they met back in game day 7. Peristeri came away with the 10-point win back then. That's their biggest win this season, but Nymburk, well, they're on a 6-game winning streak. So take your pick in this evening's game. It's set to be an exceptionally close one. Here are the games. They're all tipping off at the same time, as you'd expect for the final games. Bamberg take on Tenerife, Riga against Nizhny, and Gaziantep against Morna. That will conclude Group C. And what a competitive group it has been. So the other thing we have to take into account, as I said, these seedings, how important they are. An idea is if you finish top of your group, you will take on, in the round of 16, a team who finished 4th in their group. Second place teams will take on third place teams and so on. So the importance here to finish as high as you can in the group is critical. For Nymburk, they have a chance of finishing top of their group if they can win here this evening and Tenerife lose their game. As for Peristeri, they potentially could move up to third place if Nizhny lose. Plenty to play for here. And our visitors, Peristeri, well, they have a really well-balanced roster. Firepower in the front court, firepower in the back court. But they do also play some great defense as well. Expect both ends of the floor to look good for them. Here's their roster. It's veteran guards, Hatcher and Gray. They've been doing the business offensively this season, combining for over 23 points per game. But also look out for the big man duo. The front court being patrolled by Yannick Morea and Kingsley Moses. Very impressive dominant duo bigs. As for the home team, Nymburk, they're exciting to watch. They approach the game with some serious intensity on both ends of the floor. And their roster is absolutely stuffed with talent. You don't know which player's going to light it up on which day. Here is their roster. Have a look out for the recent arrival, Michael Dixon. He's had a huge impact. He scored 21 points in their massive win over Tenerife. There's also been a resurgence for Wojtek Ruben. He's averaging over 14 points and 4 rebounds per game, but so much talent within that roster. Take your pick on who's going to be the star this evening. Just waiting now for the team introductions to take place. Basketball Champions League music ringing out around the arena. Really starting to become a big part of a Basketball Champions League evening now, that music. It's almost, I imagine, a psychological trigger for the players. They know when they hear that they are just a few minutes away from getting down to business on the European stage. Peristeri, well, they entered tonight's game on a 2-game win streak. If they win this evening, stretching that to 3, that will be their longest ever winning streak in the Basketball Champions League. That said, they've not given their fans an easy ride this season, that's for sure. They've only won 1 game by double digits, and that was the reverse of this fixture when they beat Nymburk by 10. One thing we're likely to also have this evening is a good defensive performance. So your basketball purists out there should be in for a good show. Our 2 teams here have the best defensive records in the group. Just conceding 72.5 points per game, both of them. Stingy to say the least. Now the home team introductions as the classic basketball music starts ringing out. Well, as I said, they've won their last 6 games. They've looked in dominant form. They're really coming to the front at exactly the right moment. Remember, they'll finish 2nd in the group unless they win this evening and Tenerife lose to Bamberg. And Nymburk, alongside Peristeri, as I said, a great defensive side. One of the most efficient defensive teams in the Basketball Champions League. They keep their opponents to just over 38% from the field. Unbelievable, really, at this level when you're going up against teams with such great players, some of the best in Europe. And you're keeping them to that kind of shooting percentages. It really does tell you exactly how good a team you are and how well they are coached. Under 5 minutes now until our tip-off here. Crowd filing in nicely to create the usual atmosphere in Nymburk as the players exchange pleasantries on the half court. That will be the end of the niceties, no doubt, before they go to battle against each other. And as much as these teams have secured their playoff spots, you do wonder, is there any difficulty in getting them motivated? Maybe they think it's job done. I doubt it. These guys are at the top of their games. They know that maybe going top of the group and picking up a fourth place team, if you're Nymburk rather than second, could be huge. And on the flip of that, if you're Peristeri, do you really want to finish fourth and take on one of the top 4 teams in the Basketball Champions League so far this season? Potentially not. Maybe you'd like a slightly easier tie in the round of 16. Give yourself a bit of a chance in the playoffs. So plenty to play for this evening. So we just see the final warm-ups now here in the arena. Crowd starting to get warmed up. The arena starting to fill up nicely. Here are our officials for this evening: Saverio Lanzarini, Martin Horozov and Ventislav Velikov from Italy, Bulgaria and Bulgaria respectively. They're making sure everything is above board and goes to plan. You can almost feel the nerves in the arena now for both these teams as they get into their final preps, and it's more mental preparation now than physical for the players on show. Here's the starting 5 per Peristeri: Cousins, Salustris, Morea, Gray and Moses. That is a very big, strong starting 5. Morea and Moses both starting the game. They're going to look to dominate the paint offensively and rim protect defensively. Coach Papanikolaopoulos, he'll be pleased that his team have dealt with the pressure this season. I'm sure he also loves the fact that they have the chance to enter the playoffs on a 3-game win streak. That will really take some momentum and some confidence with them. But imagine if Nymburk can pick up the win, entering the playoffs on a 7-game winning streak. I don't think there's a team in Europe at the moment that will want to take on Nymburk. Here's their starting 5: Booker, Boacik, Dalton, Hankins and Ruben. Another impressive starting 5. Maybe slightly on the smaller side, but still no less powerful. Zach Hankins will have his hands full this evening as we look at Coach ERA Nymburk. Done a great job this season and enter the playoffs with a huge amount of confidence. But I'm sure he's also had the quiet word in his players' ears. We're not taking the foot off the gas. We want to kill this game out. We want to win and enter the playoffs on a high. Look at some of the travelling fans. Wonderful to see. Fans making the journey midweek from Peristeri. Final preparations, and as we await for the players to enter the floor and the action to start, just a reminder, best way to stay on top of all your Basketball Champions League this season is the Basketball Champions League app. It's available on Android and iOS. It's got all your stats, your news, your features, video highlights, anything you want is on there. Really is a great companion for the Basketball Champions League. Get your phones out, get it downloaded, jump into the box score and add some of the geek into tonight's game. Sure you'll be able to pick out some analysis as well as we're going along. But yeah, download that straight away. And the musical instruments now starting to ring out as well as the atmosphere cranks up a few gears. And the tip is going to be won by Nymburk. They'll get first chance to get on the scoreboard as Booker quickly hands it off to Boacek. Comes back to Dalton. Good ball movement here. Boacik. Hankins goes to work early. He's off target there, though, and a bit of a scramble under the basket. It's going to remain with Nymburk. And they'll have a clean 14 seconds to establish their offense. Tough inbound pass, but he holds on to it. Sean Booker now steps in, slight fade away. Beautiful shot by Deshaun Booker. Had a good first pro season, graduated Long Beach State in the summer of last year, averaging over 10 points per game here in the Basketball Champions League in his first pro year. Cousins now looking for options in front of him. Gray feeds Morea, and Morea goes to work. Good defense by Hankins. I'm not sure he's going to be able to give up that baseline too many times to Yannick Morea, though. Good defense from Peristeri. The lob pass. Oh, it's blocked by Hankins. What a wonderful defensive play by the big man for Nymburk. But Morea picks up the loose ball and converts the two. What a pace this game's being played at already. Oh, he went for the thunder jam. Comes up short. Both these teams, even though they've made the playoffs, they are not taking their foot off the gas for a second. Pass there, and Jaromir Boacik is fouled. Cousins is going to get called for the foul. But my goodness me, we're not going to see replays, I wouldn't imagine, but what a couple of plays there. Hankins with the big block at one end. And then you had Hayden Dalton trying to put half the Peristeri team on a poster. Cousins called for his first foul. Boacik 80% from the free throw line this season. Connects with his first two here. I want to imagine that'll be his last trip to the free throw line as well. Very high IQ player. Knows how to draw the foul. Deals with pressure very well as well. Morea hands it out to Gray. He rattles home the three. And already we're seeing what we expected. A back and forth, high tempo game. Boacik now inside. He's fouled. As I said, smart player, knows how to draw the foul. Not sure who that was on. Let's have a quick look. Is it on Morea? I think Morea is going to get called for the foul. Yep, first foul, second team foul for Peristeri. Booker, just a couple of hesitations was enough to move the defense and give him the lane. He gets a two. Wonderful free flow start to the game. Moses now, big man with the handle. Not going to go to work. He's got to be careful. It's been a long time in the key. Manages to keep possession for his team, though. Knocked out of bounds, I think, by Hayden Dalton. Moreira now. He's going to hand it back to Cousins. Cousins for another three, no good. Well, this time it's Kingsley Moses with a rebound, but it's stripped away by Haruban. Oh, nice little fake hesitation. Oh, and it's stripped away again. That's the second dunk attempt by Dalton. I think Wojciech Haruban is going to get called for the foul. Smart foul. Breaks down the Peristeri transition. I really do feel that Hayden Dalton wants to put someone on a poster this evening. He's trying his hardest in the first 2.5 minutes of the game. Gray now looks to feed Moses in the low post, but Dalton's hands are quick to knock it away. Salus just slows it down and hands it back to Cousins. It's thrown straight out of bound by Cousins. Salus just didn't really get to the spot he was supposed to by the looks of it. Nikolopoulos and Coach Amir there. They're going to play their parts this evening. There's no two ways about that. This game could be close all the way to the wire. And that's when coaches earn their money. Knocked away, Boacik can't hold on to it. Gray now. Almost travels, but feeds the ball inside. In and out from Kingsley Moses. Boacik, little crossover, back out to Dalton, catch and shoot three. He's short. Rebounding battle was won by Nymburk, but they could only throw it back inbounds to Peristeri. 5-on-4 break, and it's inside. Great vision. Moses scores. Needs to be careful though, throwing the ball away. The officials really are hot on that. Delaying the play of game. Ruben now. To Boacik, inside to Hankins. Hankins with the old school big man move, pays dividends, gives Nymburk the lead again, and as you would expect, these teams have traded the lead numerous times already. Salustris for three. String music from Salustris, and you really can't afford to leave anyone at this level open. He's not shot well this season, only 21% from the perimeter. Christos Salustris. Oh, and one! A big shot from range is good to go. Booker with the composure. Fakes using the screen. Cousins has to fight hard to get back into contention and can only foul him. Booker will head to the line to complete a 4-point play. What a start for Deshaun Booker. It's a free throw, and he scored 3/4 of Nymburk's points in his first 4.5 minutes. That's going to see him head to the bench, though, as Roko Rogic comes in. Cousins also heads to the bench as well, picking up the foul. Put him in some problems. You see Rampoulos come in. Little crossover, tries to pick his way to the lane, nothing there. Moses passes it back out, only 3 seconds left. He's put up a prayer from range. Wow, what a way to introduce yourself to a big game with the big three. Zoyas Karampoulos. Ruben answers back with his own three. Fluid offense from both teams so far. Just over 5 minutes gone, and we're on track for a very high-scoring game. Both teams could get into the hundreds. Ruben going to be called, was it Hankins? Yeah, Hankins is going to be called for the foul. See the little hesitation, and Morea just exploits the tiniest glimmer of light in the defense, picks his way through. Hankins picks up his first foul. Just the second team foul of the quarter for Nymburk, as we see Hayden Dalton head back to the bench. Into the game comes Petter Bender. Morea, not a great free throw shooter though, just 56% from the free throw line this season. And you can see why. The trajectory on that shot is pretty flat. Always going to be difficult to hit free throws when you're going at such a flat arc. Connects with the second though. Nymburk's lead at 1 point. What a close game, and a wonderful game so far, to be honest with you. Rogic, oh, uses the backboard to perfection. That was a difficult angle and fading. He got his set square out there and worked the angles out on that one. Science of the game there from Roko Rogic. Morea. Just missed it. He's just missed it consistent, to be fair. Comes on and does a job every single week, Yannick Morea. And once again, Jaromir Boacik draws the foul. This time it's Stephen Gray that's going to get called for it. Any youngsters watching this game, just watch Boacik's body placement. Always puts his body in between him, the ball and the defender. Always gets it in between the ball and the defender, so he knows that worst case scenario is going to draw a foul, as we see Christos Salustris go to the bench. Into the action comes Agravanis. Gray now, back to Ruben. Off target, Moreira with the rebound. Second board of the game for him. Moreira fakes the long two, comes back out to Agravanis. Tries to pick his way through. Oh, should have gone to the basket. It opened up for him. Instead, he's bailed out by Yannick Moreira. Stolen away. Quick hands by Stephen Gray. Moses floats inside. Oh, wow, what a way to stay with the play. Kingsley Moses. Looked like he'd been fouled hard enough that he wasn't going to be able to connect with the play. Almost loses control of the ball. Look at that, he does. And just bats it in at the last second. Wonderful focus from Kingsley Moses. As we see Boacik go to the bench as well for Nymburk now. Extra point is good as well from Moses. Peristeri now, biggest lead of the game, up to 4 for them. Booker comes with the ball back round. Rogic picks it back out. Martin Klisch is no good, but it's stolen away, is it? No, it's not. Gray manages to hold on to it. Although he's struggling at the moment, they just get it over the half before the 8 seconds expires. Karampoulos now. Moreira. Oh, there's the float. Well read by Bender, but he's going to get called for the foul. He's shrugging his shoulders, saying he's not sure about that one. There's the pass, just not quite high enough. Needed to be closer to the iron than that. The baseline ball for Peristeri. Both teams in the bonus now. They'll be heading to free throws for every foul committed now. Just over 2.5 minutes to play. Gray comes back out to Moses. Karampoulos from a long, long way out. And that is a way to earn yourself a bigger slice of the rotation. Zoyas Karampoulos with 2 threes coming off the bench. Wonderful play, forcing the home team Nymburk into a timeout. I think we're going to jump into Coach Amir's huddle, find out what he has to say. Let's listen to him.
Everybody needs to do what you want. If you want to play only offense, you can find another team. Understand?
Apologies for some of the language there. Very passionate Coach Oren Amir. Understandably so. You don't get to this level without having a huge amount of motivation. Sometimes it spills over for the TV viewing audience though. Here are some of the highlights from this first quarter. Nymburk find themselves once again on the back foot. They trail by 7, 2.5 minutes to play in the first quarter. Remember, these two faced each other in game day 7, and that one, Peristeri won by 10. At the moment, we're on for a repeat of that situation. Coach Papanikolaopoulos will be very happy at the moment. Things are going perfectly to plan for Peristeri. It's up to Nymburk to change things up now. Booker for 3. Oh, he rattles one home. And Booker, just 23 years old, is once again turning up big for Nymburk. 11 points already, and we've only played 8 minutes. Ball inside now Skordilis gets a friendly roll on the iron and gets the 2. What a wonderful first quarter we're having here in the Czech Republic. Dalton now, little jab step, fake, spin move. Tries to go inside, but the defense is more than a match for him. Varampoulos hands it off, and Booker doing it on both ends of the floor for his team right now. Good timing on the help across. Moses now moves the ball well. The 3 goes up, and the 3 is good. Peristeri starting to put on a shooting clinic. This time Agravanis in on the action. Their lead is at 9 now. Booker uses the bender screen, shoots the 3 himself. Wow-wee, Deshaun Booker is lights out. He is holding his team in this game right now. 14 points in just 9 minutes of action. He is well on target for his biggest game of his pro career. And smart play by Peristeri. Yannis Agravanis, the lucky recipient of that one. Booker, another 3. Oh, he is completely unconscious here. This is ridiculous what we're seeing from this young man. Just unreal. 17 points in the first quarter. Gray puts the jumper up, no good. Rogic now for Nymburk, drives to the basket, swings it round. Comes back out to Booker, no real surprise, the ball's in his hand. 5 seconds to play in the first quarter. Booker, looks to zip the pass inside. I think all his teammates, everyone in the arena was expecting the shot to go up. Nymburk trail by 5, 1.8 seconds to play in the first quarter. Are they going to put a shot up? It doesn't look like they are. The quarter clock is going to run out, but what an electric first 10 minutes of action. I said both these teams are high on defense. They're better at offense here this evening. Nymburk 26, Peristeri 31. 10 minutes down, 30 to go. Here are your shooting stats. Unbelievable from outside. 71% Peristeri, 62% from Nymburk. Just on fire. You do have to question when you see those statistics, a defensive effort as well. Maybe there's a lack of perimeter defense at the moment from both teams, but that is an unbelievable first quarter of action we've had here. Remember, both these teams already know they're making it through to the playoffs here in the Basketball Champions League. This is all about where in the group they finish. Deshaun Booker has just been unreal here in the first quarter. He's played just under 8 minutes of action. He is perfect from the field, 6 from 6, 17 points in under 8 minutes. Now that is a player who knows how to put the ball in the bucket. And he has put on an exhibition. And he's the one that's kept Nymburk in this game. They trail by 5 without him. My goodness me, how far ahead would Peristeri be? And I'm sure Coach Papanikolaopoulos is now thinking, well, how do we lock this young man out of the game? Because they can't let him continue to hurt them like he has. It's just been jumper after jumper. It's not the most beautiful of jump shots that he's got, but how effective is it? We see some of the other highlights. The players are making their way back onto the floor here in the arena, ready for the second quarter to commence. So Peristeri will get things underway in the second quarter. After 10 minutes of action, they lead Nymburk by 5. 26 to Nymburk, 31 to Peristeri here. Last game day of the regular season. Stolen away. Booker out at the races. They're fighting back, but they're going to foul him. Karampoulos going to be called for the foul. Booker out in transition, that was fair, but then that left hand pushing away on the hip, I think, and then stepping across his run that's caused the foul. Karampoulos for his first foul. Booker hits the first of his 2 free throws. He's up to 18 points personal. His best performance in the Basketball Champions League this season was game day 12 against Nizhny Novgorod. 22 points, 4 rebounds he had in that one. I find it hard to believe he's not going to smash that one completely here this evening. This is going to be his biggest performance in the Basketball Champions League this season. Karampoulos no good from 3. And Nymburk maybe with a chance to tie the game here. Bender for 3. Oh, he nails the 3 as well. The 3-point shooting bug is catching here for Nymburk. Karampoulos now slows things down for Peristeri. Gray comes back out. Shot clock at 5. Karampoulos is going to be forced to put this one up, I think. Nope, he's gone to the wing. Moses now is not going to get it away in time. And I'd love to say that's good defense by Nymburk, but if I'm honest, it's just a lack of direction offensively by Peristeri. And if I'm Coach Papanikolaopoulos, I'm starting to get a little bit concerned because Nymburk are not relenting and his team is slightly stuttering at the moment. Bender open for 3. Too heavy, and the iron spits that one away, but they grab the offensive rebound again. The other 3 attempt from Dovicic is good, and that has tied the game. No, it's not. Nymburk now have the 3-point lead, sorry. 8.5 minutes to play in this second quarter. Coach Papanikolaopoulos is going to call the timeout as Nymburk have started the second quarter on an 8-0 run. Let's jump into this Greek huddle and hear how they're going to change things up.
Play from behind my stall. 3 with 4 switch immediately. Position. On vision, you have to sit. Okay, you have to sit. Now, with the 4 men, whatever, with the 4 men, whatever, make one flash. Make a dribble back and go back to your play. Because he stay back, he comes here, he pop out. Make one flash, go back to your play.
Back into the action, and there's the man of the moment, Deshaun Booker. Unbelievable, 19 points. Just absolutely flying. A baby-faced assassin. Nymburk, an 8-0 start to this second quarter. That's turned a 5-point deficit into a 3-point lead in under 2 minutes. Unbelievable. Karampoulos now looking for something, comes back out to Moses, but once again, Peristeri, no real focus on their offense, and they're going to have to take a tough shot. Karampoulos catch and shoot for 3. Doesn't even hit the iron, and Nymburk are dominating on both ends of the floor. Giannis Agravanis is going to just jump in and foul to stop Nymburk's progression and slow things down. Not sure it was needed. His team had established defensively. As we see, Skordilis and Moses head back to the bench. Into the action comes Blake. Booker looking for options in front of him. Boacek being guarded so closely by Gray. Booker fakes the 3, gets the pass back though. Knocked out of bounds by Agravanis. So it's going to remain a Nymburk ball. Booker struggling to even get it in bounds. Managed to find a long pass to Boacek at the top. Shot clock to 2. Boacek, long way out. Ugly looking shot. And the rebound falls into the lap of Gray. Big outlet pass for Moreira. And the baseline cut is going to be finished with ease by BJ Blake. Booker now. Peristeri's defense certainly has stepped up a few levels. Little side step to create the space. Puts an air ball up though. Comes out to Boacek. He misses a 3 as well. And Nymburk have called off from the perimeter. As the foul is going to be called as Blake went up for the dunk. I think it's going to be Booker called for the foul. Let's have a look at the replay. Oh, I'm not sure. Tough to see from that angle where the foul was. Was there contact maybe from behind that we couldn't see? A couple of changes going to be made as we see Hankins and Ruben come back in for Nymburk. Also see Gray head to the bench for Peristeri. Jamir wanting a quick chat with Jaromir Boacek. As Blake enters the game, and he's certainly made a difference straight away. Just in his first season with Peristeri. He's come into the game and straight away he's up to 4 points personal, exactly what they needed. They've regained their lead and maybe a little bit of their composure as well. Hankins now hands it off. Boacek, way too much space for a man of that talent, but he can't make them pay. Cousins has come back into the game for Peristeri. He fields Moreira in the low post. Cousins looks to drive the baseline, but he's too busy thinking about what he was going to do with the ball before he'd actually gained control of it. Both teams just suffering from a little bit of nerves maybe, because it's become a little bit scrappy in the last 2 or so minutes of the game. Hankins battling hard with Moreira for positioning in the low post. Always great to watch, but it's intercepted. Peristeri now will advance it back with pace, but Dalton will grab the rebound on that one, and that's a good save into the hands of Boacek Ruben. Tries to drive inside, pulls up, tough, difficult shot. Almost over trying to force the issue a little bit, both these teams. No confidence in their half-court offenses at the moment. Moreira, free throw line jumper. Always an air ball. To say that's ugly was an understatement. Not surprised he's put his head in his jersey. That is not one that he'll want to watch back when they go over the game tape from this one. As you can see, almost, well, over 3 minutes now since Nymburk scored their last point. And having a very hot hand. Dalton for 3. He's coming up short, and Moreira just bats it away, but it's going to remain Nymburk ball, and they'll get 14 points. Sorry, 14 seconds back on the shot clock. As Grampolis there, I think, was doing a little bit of housekeeping for Nymburk, helping out, getting the advertising boards back up on their feet. You feel like the ball is in the court for Nymburk now to take this on again. Ruben, little fake on the 3, slides inside, needs to do better there. He's done all the hard work, but failed on the easiest section of it. And Booker once again goes to the basket strong. I'm not sure if Hankins is going to claim that one or whether that one go down to Booker. It should really go down to Booker, but we'll see. Nymburk retake the lead. Oh, nice dribble through the traffic. as Deshaun Booker ends up in the front row through the ad boards. There's the travelling fans from Greece. They have been making noise for the entire game. As we see Jakob Tuma come into the game and giving Deshaun Booker a well-earned rest. And you've seen his production tail off here in the second quarter, and no real surprise to see him taking a break. Salustris puts it into Moreira, I think. Backing his way to the basket, treble team comes across. That's not enough though to stop Yannick Moreira. It's the beautiful hook shot away, and Peristeri reclaim the lead again. Moreira up to 9 points now. Dalton looking to back his way towards the basket against Salustris and drops the 2. And this feels exactly like it did in the first quarter when both teams were starting to warm things up nicely. Cousins now for 3. A little bit too hasty with that attempt. Dalton drives inside. Wait to see what's called. Is it an offensive foul? Dalton called for the offensive foul. As we see Giannis Akravanis go to the bench for Peristeri. Back into the game comes Moses. Cousins with a little shake, draws the foul from Jakob Tuma, just 21 years old, learning his trade, first season with Nymburk. Cousins now. Foul's going to be called. I think that one's going to be on Tuma again. 2 quick personal fouls for the young man. It's the 4th team foul of the quarter for Nymburk as well. So Nymburk are in the penalty for the last, well, just under 3.5 minutes of the second quarter. Shot is no good, and Hankins easily collects the rebound. Ball back to Dalton. Ruben, pass to the corner. Tuma trying to shake, but he steps out of bounds, and it's been a bit of a nightmare. 3 phases of play, but the right reaction from Coach Amir there. He's a young player. The last thing you want to do is get after him. You've got to give him the chance and the space to make his mistakes as he grows into the game. Represented the Czech Republic throughout all the junior age groups, Jakob Tuma, so maybe a bright future for him here in Nymburk. Moses for 3, no good, and Hankins bats the ball away, and Tuma picks up the rebound. Hands it off to Boacek. Oh, the lane opens up. Boacek inside, floats it high, and the finish is thrown down by Hankins. Times his jump to perfection. Hankins watched that one like a hawk. Floated up and flushed it with the 2 hands. Timeout's been called, I presume, by Peristeri. Yeah, it has. Coach Papanikolaopoulos has seen enough. He feels that Nymburk maybe is starting to warm up again, and he needs to kill that fire before it spreads. Let's jump into their timeout.
Calm down. Now it is the most important part of the game. Okay, now it's the game. Go. First of all, switch when it is a communicate. Against press. We play against press. And then when we come here, we play 1. Listen. If they play zone, play 1, 5, 4 immediately here. Gray come out here. And Cousins from here to spread the floor.
Interesting comments there from Coach Papanikolaopoulos. He's saying, now we have a game. This is the important phase of the game, and he's right. This lead up to the halftime break can make or break games. It really can impact the rest of how the game plays out, and he's keen for his team to be aware of that and maybe just burn a little bit more energy than they would do otherwise in trying to dominate this last 2.5 minutes of the second quarter. Gray now with possession. Comes back to Cousins. Ball now into the corner. Back to Cousins again. Sorry, to Gray. Now out to the wing. Oh, and he gets the roll. The basketball gods are shining down on Kingsley Moses as he hits an unorthodox three. And the game is tied at 40 apiece. 2 minutes to play now in this second quarter. Ruben looks to float it inside, but it's intercepted. Peristeri advance it up over the half. Salustris now back out to Gray, and Peristeri will slow things down. Gray now uses the Moreira screen. Out to Salustris for three. He hit one earlier almost from an identical spot. Can't get that one to drop though. 90 seconds left here in the second quarter. Tuma is blocked as he drives to the basket hard. Cousins now looking to run a little two-man game here with Moreira. Moreira just backing his way to the basket, just pure power and strength. Tuma comes down with the rebound and is fouled by Moses. Good play by the young man. Locked the ball in, sealed it out. Even though he hits the floor, still has his mind about him. Moses' first personal foul as we see Hayden Dalton head to the bench for Nymburk. Back into the action is Petter Bender. Can anyone take control of this game as we enter the final minute of action here in the second quarter? Just 60 seconds to play. Boacek, oh, quick spin move is enough. Oh, and that's bread and butter for Hankins. Anything hanging around that ring will be finished with power. That is what he loves. He's licking his lips when he sees that kind of shot go up, and he's not sealed out. Moreira returns the favor at the other end of the floor with a jam of his own. Still tied. About a 7-second differential between shot clock and game clock now. Boacek. Little crossover, drives inside, and he's rejected by Moses. Fades away, loses the handle, keeps it in bounds. Gonna have to get the shot away. Rubin is off track. They've got 5 seconds. What can Peristeri do with it? Long three is no good. And to be completely honest with you, the halftime score is exactly where it should be. We are all tied. 20 minutes gone. 42 to Nymburk, 42 to Peristeri. Here are your shooting percentages. Both teams very, very high efficiency from outside, shooting well from the free throw line. All in all, a wonderful offensive game. It slowed down a little in the second quarter after what was a lightning first quarter. Nymburk crashing the boards hard as well there. 9 offensive rebounds to them. Peristeri playing some great team offense. 10 assists in their team. Booker with 21, Hankins 6, Boacek with 5 for Nymburk. Moreira leads things for Peristeri with 11. Wow, time to grab your breath. Grab some refreshments because this game has been unbelievable so far in this first half. Wonderful game from both sides. Really great offensive performance from both these teams. And you really do have to have a hat tip to Sean Booker. He has been unbelievable so far for Nymburk. And you do wonder, would this game even be still alive if it wasn't for the 23-year-old? 23 points in just 13 minutes of action. Sorry, 21 points in just 13 minutes of action. 100% from the field, 100% from the free-throw line to Peristeri. It's been a wonderful start to proceedings. Both teams not backing down, both teams with some wonderful offensive execution, and we'll be hoping for more of that in the second half. That man there has been absolutely on fire. Sean Booker just really couldn't miss at the moment. So the halftime break here in the Kravlovka Arena in Nymburk. We have a very, very close game. Not a sheet of paper between the two teams, as Nymburk have 42, Peristeri 42. Make sure you join me for all the second half action shortly in this final game of Group C in this year's Basketball Champions League.
Ale Zdeněk může rozhodnout posledním pokusem. Ne, tak dáme rozstřel náhodou smrtí, který se jeli, ten kde dá prostě dřív, samozřejmě s dokončením toho kola. Zdeněk na člápon.
And the Victors with an opportunity here to take the lead at halftime. McKissick flies in! Oh my goodness, quite possibly for the play of the half. Dunks it in, and we see the real Shaquille McKissick.
And Gola now sticks it to Sealer. Sealer, little crossover, little step back. Oh, wonderful handle by the big man, my goodness me. And both teams have opened the game exactly the same way with a statement of intent. Two big dunks on either end.
Just pass. Well, they give up the baseline, and Sidness goes in. He gets rejected by Pearl. Pearl defensively tonight has a couple of swats, and that one was right out of the top drawer.
One-handed pass into the corner. Can't get it to go, but a big time throwdown by Dalton. Aiden Dalton.
Benite goes in and gets the rebound. Oh, goes behind his back. He puts it up. Are you kidding me? Vitor Benite is exceptional tonight. He is just making almost everything that he throws up. Look at this.
Foul called. Crosses over. Sigel behind the back pass. Oh, what a play. Jordan Bartolo, that is just B-E-A beautiful. Right, left hand with a crushing dunk all over Hapoel Jerusalem right there. Just out of nothing, he took off and threw it down. Tony Roten. Now he goes off the dribble. And Terry with a big swat. Just throws it back in Simpson's face. Can they get the three? Just shot. Oh my goodness! Emmanuel Terry is taking this game over. That's awesome.
4 seconds left, the three-pointer to win it. Yes! Tyler Stone! It's not over yet.
Drives inside. Oh my word, Chris Dow. That is special. That is really special from Chris Dow.
Welcome back to the Basketball Champions League. And what a game we've got here. Both these teams already making it through to the postseason of the Basketball Champions League. However, that has not made them take their foot off the gas for 1 second. At the halftime break, Nymburk 42, Peristeri 42. And both these teams have shown us exactly why they are making it through to the postseason of the Basketball Champions League. Big performances across the floor, none more so than Deshaun Booker. What an unbelievable first half performance. 21 points, 7 from 8 from the field, and 3 from 3 from the free throw line. Efficiency of 21 points to his name already. Unbelievable performance from him. You see him there in the huddle. If he can replicate even half of what he did in that first half in the second half, it's going to be a tough night for Peristeri. They've spread the load a little bit more. Moreira leads things for them with 11 points, 4 rebounds. Moses also playing well, 8 points, 4 rebounds for him. But they've spread the load an awful lot more than the home team. They've relied heavily on their young star. But how will this second half play out? Remember, both these teams trying to gain positions in their groups. That will give them a better draw as they enter the playoffs of the Basketball Champions League this season. We're just moments away from the start of the second half here. As we get things underway, what a first half we had. If the second half can be half as good, we're in for a Basketball Champions League classic. Nymburk 42, Peristeri 42. Who's gonna make the move and claim the early lead? Ruben now, elbow jumper is good. And that's a good start for Nymburk. They'll be glad to get off the mark nice and early. And remember, Ruben is a big part of what they do. The jumper is no good for Gray. And the ball goes out of bounds and will move across to Nymburk now. There's the man of the moment for the home team. Ruben almost losing the handle, manages to get it into the hands of Dalton. Down into the low post to Hankins. No good, it's knocked back, but not far enough. Cousins now has found the wing jumper. And this time it's Salustras. He's up to 6 points, 2 triples for him so far. And that would have been a warning sign if they saw Booker hit the 3 to start the second half. Cousins now slowing things down for Peristeri. Corner 3 is good to go. Gray drains the triple. It's a strong start from Peristeri in this second half. They lead by 4 now. Gray's second triple of the game. And you don't want a man like that starting to warm up. He's averaging 34% from outside prior to this evening's game. Booker now. Gets it back at the top. Screen set by Hankins. Ball goes out though. The shot from Dalton is no good, but the hustle on the offensive glass is strong. Gray's unable to keep it in for Peristeri, so it's going to be a baseline ball for Nymburk. Ruben now. Jumper for three. No good. Good defense by Peristeri. Moreira's no good from short range. It's a bit of a scrappy start to the second half as we see Ruben just float to the basket. And it's often the way if you're struggling to get things going, be a bit more direct, go strong to the hole. Almost artificially jumpstart your offense. Oh, wonderful crossover there from Cousins. Let's have a look. I think the offensive foul is going to be called on Yannick Moreira though. Yeah, second foul on him. Not too much to worry about in the foul stakes at the moment for either team. Ruben now beats Hankins. What can Hankins do? He's going to have to come back out. This time he comes out to Booker. Oh, the lob is thrown, but the defense is strong from Moreira. Cousins inside is no good. Both teams are picking up the defense. You do wonder why the foul wasn't called there on Salustris. Obvious call. Salustris even himself saying he was trying to foul to slow things down a bit. Let's have a look at the replay. Couldn't be more obvious. He's even put his hand up to claim the foul. Booker inbounds it now to Hankins. He hands it straight back to him. A little two-man game at the top, some pick and roll. Hankins now looks to pass it inside. Good hands by Cousins. Cousins will slow things down as Peristeri hold a 2-point lead with a little under 6.5 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. Gray now up way short. Seemed to almost fall out the back of his hand. And we really are playing a bit of scrappy basketball here at the moment. And once again, the ball in the hands of the man of the hour, Sean Booker. What can he do with it? Little hesitation, elbow jumper, and it's nothing but net for the young man. He's up to 23 points now. 8 from 10 from the field. Such a young player, but already for him a career evening. Offensive foul's going to be called. And that's just great defense by Dalton. See him get his footwork right, just take the contact. And it's an easy call for the officials. Moses gets called for his second, and Cousins will head to the bench for Peristeri as Garampoulos comes into the game. How much can they lean on to Sean Booker, though? Nymburk at the moment have relied heavily on him here this evening. Can his young shoulders bear the burden? Ruben drains the three. And it's almost a relief fist pump from Wojciech Ruben. He knows how important he is to the team. He's had a wonderful season so far, a real resurgent season. And his 8th season with the club. Moreira hands it off. Skip pass now to Salustris. Comes back out to Gray. Gray trying to pick his way to the basket. It's an awfully tough shot to get away, and the ball falls into the hands of Nymburk, but I think a shot clock violation is going to be called instead. Nymburk now hold a 3-point lead halfway through this third quarter, and it continues to be a cagey affair. No team at the moment taking control of the game. And you wonder if it's going to remain that way all the way through and be a real nail biter as we get into the final phases of the game. Bender for three, in and out for him. Moses with a rebound for Peristeri. Ball goes inside, and it's a triple team applied on Yannick Moreira. And it works this time as he's called for travelling. Let's have a look. Picks up his dribble. Yeah, absolutely. The only thing you could potentially put against Peristeri was the fact that he was stepping forward. Apart from that, his defense was pretty strong. Oh, and there's the triple for Hayden Dalton. He's been threatening it. He's drained a big, big shot there. Just his second score of the game. But how big could that be? 10-point lead for Nymburk now. Peristeri will call a timeout. Let's jump in and listen to Coach Papanikolaopoulos, see what he has to say.
Calm down. First of all, we received so many points and we have 2 fouls to give. Please, stop passing the ball. Stop passing the ball. Fast break, go in the middle. Don't go in between situations.
And they've certainly come out and stamped their authority on this second half, Nymburk. And you almost feel that Wojciech Hruben has taken it as a personal challenge. Try and find himself some form. Had a bit of a tough first half. He's now up to 10 points. A lot closer to where we expect him to be. He's averaging just over 14 points per game in the Basketball Champions League this season. His high was back in game day 6 against Mornar when he had 28 points. Goes inside to Moreira. He can't hold on to it. Puts up the jumper, and that's always a difficult jumper for a big man on the baseline, almost behind the basket. You have to be near perfect to connect with that. Good ball movement here. Comes back out now to Dalton. He's off target. The foul is going to be called, I think, on Peristeri. See Kingsley Moses just pulling the rebound. Just a 6-point lead now for Nymburk. This game has never really got away. Neither team has really opened up a gap that they could defend. It's just been an ebb and flow game. Both teams taking chunks out of each other. Parampoulos marshalling the troops in front of him. Almost loses the handle though, drives the baseline, hands it off into the corner to Gray. He's fouled. He'll go to the line for 3 free throws. That really is a get out of jail free card for Peristeri. They're heading nowhere fast. The defense have worked well from Nymburk. The official just explaining it to Coach Amir. Gray at the line for 2 free throws now. Very good free throw shooter, 89% prior to this evening's game. Connects with the first 2 of his 3, and the visiting fans from Greece have been absolutely outstanding here this evening. Their drums and their songs have rung out around the arena for the entire game, making a wonderful European atmosphere. Wonderful night of European basketball here in Nymburk. Krish is into the game for the first time for Nymburk. He hands it back to Booker. Booker drives inside, floats for the 2 off the glass, gets the beautiful roll. Now he's at 25 points. Bear in mind, he's played under 20 minutes of action. A wonderful performance from the 23-year-old. Karampolis now. Foul's going to be called, offensive foul on Skordelis. Moving screen is going to be called for him. That was the replay a little bit late there. It was a second or two earlier that the offensive foul was called, and that's his first foul. Third team foul of the quarter for Peristeri. Ruben now uses the screen, and it's a nice pass. Oh, but an even bigger rejection from Gray. Ruben now, back to Dalton, back to Ruben. And you feel that Nymburk have some confidence in what they're doing. Sean Booker from way out. Oh, he tries to steal it away, almost does. Karampolis manages to hold on to it. You just feel at the moment they're lacking direction, the Greek side. No joy, but they get that one to go. That almost looked like it was Dalton from Nymburk who tipped it back into his own basket. Three-point lead now for Nymburk. 90 seconds left in this third quarter. No good for Bender. He'll come back out though to Booker. They'll slow things down. Dalton for three again. And he seems to be turning up at exactly the right moments when his team are stalling, when they're not quite on track and things aren't going their way. He seems to find a way to score, usually from downtown. Extends the lead out to 6 points, a little over a minute to play in the third quarter. As we see Salustris go to the bench for Peristeri. And into the game for Nymburk comes Rogic. Karampolis now running things for Peristeri. What can they do in just over a minute left of the third quarter? Moses now. Karampolis is off target, and Dalton just brings it down. Catch and shoot for Dalton. You know exactly what he's going to do. He's off target, though, slightly to the right, but the foul's going to be called, I think. Is it going to be on Skordelis? Let's have a look. The shot goes up, and it's how they box out. Yeah, for me, it looked like Skordelis was boxing out with his arms rather than his body. Wasn't stepping across the shooter, so the ball will return to Nymburk. Another foul going to be called. At the moment, Peristeri's fouls are a little bit out of control. This one is going to be on Agravanis, and that's going to send, I think, Nymburk to the line for two, as Peristeri are in the penalty. Not a great way to finish off the quarter for the Greek side. Wojtek Ruben hits the first of his two. Very good free throw shooter, 84% from the free throw line before this evening's game. As we see Kingsley Moses head to the bench for Peristeri. Karampolis now looking for options in front of him. The Nymburk defense is working hard to cover the switches. Agravanis inside, off the glass, no joy. The putback isn't good for Blake. That would have been massive if he connected. Rogic hands it off into Ruben's hands for three. He's short with that attempt. And that will be the final possession of the third quarter. And you'd have to say at this stage, advantage Nymburk as they lead 61-53 over Peristeri. There your quarter breaks, and as you can see, what a quarter, or in fact the second and third quarter for Nymburk, holding Peristeri just to 11 points in each quarter after a lightning opening 10 minutes as well. They really have locked down on the defensive end, and that's been the game changer. That's what's given them their 8-point lead with just 10 minutes to play. And remember, they're in a battle as it stands, trying to secure top spot in the group. And at the moment, they have a chance of taking top spot. Bamberg lead Tenerife by a point, little under 2 minutes to play in the third quarter there. Remember, if Nymburk win here this evening, Tenerife lose in Bamberg, then Nymburk will take top spot here in Group C. As for Peristeri, they're obviously trying to fight for third position. They're automatically guaranteed at least fourth, so they're through to the postseason stage of the Basketball Champions League this season, but they want to try and push up to that third position, maybe get a more friendly draw in the first round of the playoffs. And that absolutely could happen, because at the moment Nizhny are trailing Riga by 12, a little over 2 minutes to play there. If Nizhny were to lose, Peristeri to win here, that would put Peristeri above Nizhny. And the same at the moment with regards to Nymburk and Tenerife. Still plenty of basketball action to go though in all these games around Europe this evening. 3 down, 1 to go here in Nymburk. The home team leads 61-53 over Peristeri. Can they hold on to the lead they have? Oh, there's the jam, there's the flush. Agravanis opening things up in the final quarter for the visitors in style. Into the corner, Dalton for 3, he's fouled. He'll head to the line for 3 free throws. Agravanis does a good thing at one end and a crazy thing at the other. But that's what you get with a 21-year-old. Bucket full of talent, maybe a little lack of composure, and you can see Papanikolaopoulos exactly what his thoughts are with his player. Agravanis, 21 years old, a real prospect for Peristeri. He's on loan from Ike. We'll see Hayden Dalton connect from the free throw line. The second is good to go as well. Prior to this evening's game, he was a 75% free throw shooter. Wow, hits all 3. Nothing but net on all 3 attempts. He's up to double digits. 11 points, 3 rebounds to his name. Parampoulos now. Trying to use the Skordilis screen. Skordilis needs to be careful. He's had a few early fouls. Goes to the work, little fadeaway jumper, and he gets the roll. Veteran big man with the luck of the iron. Rogic now moves the ball round, pass inside to Bender. And that was all creative and wonderful perimeter ball movement. The ball whipping around the outside, deforming Peristeri's defense and opening up the pass inside. Skordilis struggling to hand the ball off, and it's stolen away. That's just great defense by Nymburk. Oh, and cheeky from Rogic. What can Boacek do? He nails the bank jumper. Wonderful play from Nymburk, and they open their lead out to 11 points. Boacek up to 7 now. And it's really down to Peristeri and coach Papanikolaopoulos. What can he do? Let's jump into his huddle.
Foul! Who is that? Foul, no! On the mismatch, foul! Zero foul! 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 Every time!
Jinak dnešním zápase ERA basketbalu můžete pomoci dobré věci. Stáhněte si aplikaci ERA, pomáhají pohybem do svého telefonu a podpořte například aplikaci Sirius. Well,
I think you can, you don't need to be a translator to understand what Coach Papanikolaopoulos is trying to say to his team. He's trying to say, look, we're giving up easy shots. We're not challenging hard enough. Let's foul them. Let's slow things down. Let's get into a half-court set. Let's not let them flow, because that's when they're dangerous. And it's down to his team to react, and you just hope for their sake it's not too late. They trail by 11. It's a big deficit with only 8.5 minutes left to play. And the Greeks put on an almighty comeback to take on what has been an impressive Nymburk side here. Struggled in the first quarter, but they've been scary good ever since. Grain out. Hands the ball off to Karampoulos. And Peristeri are playing most of their basketball outside the three-point line, which is tough to win games from unless you start to warm up. As Gray looks like he might be doing. And it's going to take a player like Stephen Gray to take the team on their back. Boacek. Oh, nice little fake. Steps to the side. It's only going to be for two, though. Foot was inside the line. Boacek playing well. He's up to 9 points. Nymburk's lead back to 11. Drive inside is a little bit heavy-handed for Karampoulos. Oh, wonderful vision, wonderful pass. An unsportsmanlike foul is going to be called on BJ Blake. And look at the vision here from Rogic. And that's going to send Krish to the line for his two shots, and Nymburk will take possession as well, and the wheels are falling off Peristeri here quickly. They're going to review this call, though, to see if it was an unsportsmanlike foul. Just waiting for the replay to be lined up. Here we go. Or is it just checking the clock? Just taking a little time to get the replays lined up and in place for the officials to look at. Here's the pass. And again, it's at full speed, and it's a tough angle for the officials to make a call on that one. Just trying to clarify this. It could be an important play ultimately. As you see, the Peristeri fans, they have not stopped making noise for the entire game, whether their team's up or down. They are here to party. They are enjoying their European adventure that the Basketball Champions League is providing them. And their team have played well. Going into the season, I'm not sure if they would have been favourites to finish in a top 4 spot, but that's what they've achieved as we see another replay. Rogic now passing it inside, and yeah, it does look like an unsportsmanlike foul. To me, it's that left hand on the small of the back that just kind of, yeah, almost seen as a push, in any form of a push, open palm push. Let's see what the call is. They downgraded it to a regular foul. Let's have a look, see. Yeah, it looks like they have, yep, downgraded it to just a regular foul, and that's what the review system is there for. Make sure the officials are happy with the calls that they make. And as we progress into the Basketball Champions League playoffs, It's going to be absolutely critical that we get these calls right. So much at stake. First shot is no good for Martin Krisch. Does connect with the second though. And the Nymburk lead is up to 12, under 7.5 minutes to play. Cousins now. Oh, and it's knocked away. That's quick hands. Out in the races, but they're going to slow things down. Boacek will bring it back out. Wide open is Rogic. He's off target to the left, though. And the long rebound is pulled in by Moses and handed off to Cousins. Almost stolen away again. And you have to be so impressed by the Nymburk defense, no matter who's on the floor. Krisch, obviously, not a frontline player, coming in and filling minutes, but he brings the intensity and he keeps that ethos, that identity on the defensive end. Boacek now waiting for things to develop in front of him. Bender sets him the screen, feeds the low post. Dalton looking to go to work. Tough shot. Good defense in the end by Peristeri. It's thrown back in bounds. Moreira manages to lock out the rebound and hand it off to Cousins. Moreira now hands it off to Gray. Gray for the three, and that is a big shot. Is that going to spark life back into Peristeri? It's exactly what they needed, and straight away Coach Amir going to call a timeout. He doesn't want Peristeri to get on a roll, to find some form. He wants to lock him out of the game as early as he can. Let's listen to his huddle. Both these teams are starting to warm up again. It's really been fits and starts in this game. And you know where Coach Amir is coming from. He doesn't want to see Peristeri starting to light up again. He's seen them come to life and they can score in a hurry when they need to. That's why he's called the timeout. He's trying to put a little bit of ice on their fire at the moment. Let's see if that timeout has done the job that he wanted it to do. It's going to be a baseline ball for Nymburk as we return. Boacek will come in to inbound it. And back into the game is Deshaun Booker. Backcourt violation is going to be called, though. His first action isn't a positive one. A mistake between Booker and Krisch has caused a turnover. Peristeri within 9, still just under 6 minutes to play, and Coach Oren Amir knows that this game isn't locked out. I do wonder whether he knows what the scores are from the other games in the group, because obviously that Tenerife game dictates whether they finish top or second. The foul's going to be called, this one on Jaromir Boacek, I think. Or is it going to be on Zach Hankins? I think it's Boacek. His fourth foul. That's going to be a concern with still 6 minutes to play. Boacek is one of the more experienced players on the team. Played at a high level. The three from Moses is no good. And it's off the hands of Nymburk, so it's going to remain in a possession of Peristeri. We see Peter Bender come back into the game and Martin Krisch head to the bench. Do Peristeri still have anything left in the tank to give? A little under 6 minutes to play. They trail by 9. Baseline cut by Gray. He looks to hand it off, but it's stripped away. It was almost, you could class a Nymburk mugging. It's just a sea of white jerseys completely collapsed on the paint and locked out any chance of shooting or passing. Cousins looks to inbound it. It's stolen away, though, by Hankins. And Booker will pick things up. Certainly the man of the hour, Deshaun Booker, 25 points to his name. He's only played 22.5 minutes. That one's off the hands, though, of Hankins. And the nerves start creeping in here as we enter, well, nearly enter the final 5 minutes of the game. For Nymburk, when the draw was made those months ago and they saw Tenerife in their group, they must have thought, oh, if we can finish second, that's a great job. But they're currently potentially going to top this group. An unbelievable performance from them. Oh, what a baseline pivot from Moreira. Finishes it with the slam and the smile on his face. His team still trail by 7, though. He's up to 13 points personal. He's certainly putting a shift in this evening. Booker now into the corner to Ruben. Slightly off target. And the rebounding battle is won by a sea of blue. Great feeds the trailing Moreira. And the foul is going to be called. I think that one's going to be called on Hankins. And a little bit of afters between Hankins and I'm not sure, is it Gray? Neither team needs that to sneak into the game now. Sorry, Ruben has been called for that foul, not Hankins. As we see, Barachik head to the bench. He's obviously on 4 fouls, so they're just resting him just in case you have a feeling. They only lead by 7, Nymburk. As you see, Isaiah Cousins getting some instructions from coach Papanikolaopoulos. Moreira at the line for 2. Hits the first of his 2 free throws. Joined Peristeri in the summer from Pauk. Angolan also played in the World Cup last summer. 12 points, 9 rebounds as Angola finished way down in that one. Booker now advancing it up over the half. Using the screens well, floats inside, but it's swatted away. Ruben, though, skips it back round to Dalton. Dalton, little sidestep, feeds it inside. Shot clock down to 3. Fade away from Hankins is no good. Rebound pulled down by Moreira. And he is a player that is stepping up here in the clutch. A little over 4 minutes to play now. Blake drives inside, looks to feed the low post. It's stripped away, but the foul's going to be called as Moses goes hard to the basket. Wojtek Ruben's going to get called for the foul. Let's have a look at the replay. There's the pass inside. Well, tough to see, even in slow-mo. That's an awkward one to call. 3rd foul on Ruben. 13th foul of the quarter for Nymburk as well. 4 minutes to play. Right smile there on the face of Jaromir Boacik sitting on the bench for Nymburk. He's on 4 fouls. Gonna head back into the action though, Boacik. Gray goes to the line for 3 throws. Looks like it's an unsportsmanlike as well that's been called. Well, in fact, a technical foul was called. On Wojtek Ruben. That puts him on to 4 fouls as well. A little bit of foul trouble now for Nymburk. Both Ruben and Boacik on 4, both of them on the floor at the moment. Almost stolen away, but Booker manages to recover the ball inside, back out, and it's thrown away, and the nerves are starting to tell for Nymburk. They're not closing the game out as you would expect them to do so. You have to bear in mind they're currently on a 6-game winning streak. They haven't lost a game since game day 7 against Peristeri. Can they extend this and take some confidence with them into the postseason of the Basketball Champions League? 11-3 run for Peristeri. That's an air ball from Moreira as the defense pays dividends for Nymburk. Cross-court pass is dangerous, but a foul's going to be called unsportsmanlike on Gray. Things are starting to get a little bit niggly here. Let's have a look. Officials obviously laying down the line, saying what's acceptable and what's not here. Seen quite a few free throws this evening without a lineup. Tells me there's been a lot of unsportsmanlike fouls or technical fouls. Free throw is good from Boacik on the first. And the second, he's up to double digits now. 10 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists. Just making sure he chalks up as many numbers in as many columns on the box score as he can, including fouls for Boacik. He's on 4 as well at the moment. Rogic now controlling things for Nymburk. Bender. Dalton in an unorthodox way. Back to Dalton though. Fakes 3, steps inside, doesn't get it away in time. It won't count. Shot clock violation by Hayden Dalton. Have to credit good defense there from Peristeri. Little over 3 minutes to play. Cousins brings it up over the half. Moreira now going to work against Bender. Can't get it to go, but will draw the foul, earn himself a trip to the line, which isn't necessarily what you want if you're Yannick Moreira. You're not the best free throw shooter, and that is a problem. That is a limiting factor if you're a big man. Bender picks up his 3rd foul as Moreira heads to the line. 15 points, 8 rebounds for Yannick Moreira here this evening. Both categories above his game average. He's averaging just under 12 points and just over 5.5 rebounds per game. This is the free throw, the first attempt at the free throw line. Connects with the second though. Peristeri within just 4 now. The pressure really is being applied on Nymburk. And they're potentially throwing away a chance of winning this group. Good quick ball movement, wonderful ball movement in fact, and Bender puts the 3 up, but it's off. Slightly too heavy in the back of the iron, spits it away. Under 2.5 minutes to play now, Cousins. What can Gray do with it? Trying to run a little 2-man game with Moses. It comes back out though, Moreira's going to get called for the travel. The right call. You could see he was caught in 2 minds almost as he caught the ball. Which direction was he going to go? Was it a jumper? Step in, dribble, just didn't know. It's an easy call by the officials to make. Rogic now for 3. No good, but he's going to get his own rebound as it comes straight back at him. Ruben calls for a little bit of isolation against Salustris. Foul's going to be called on Salustris. That's going to send, I think, yeah, it's just going to be a sideline ball. That's the fourth foul of the quarter for Peristeri, so it's not going to be to the line just yet. 1:51 to play in the fourth. Nymburk up by 4. It's been a funny kind of feel game to it. Ruben for 3, in and out, no good. Dalton tries to crash the board hard, manages to tip it back. Dalton for 3. Oh, he reins back the 3, and that could be a huge score for Nymburk in their battle to finish top of their group. He's up to 14 points. Cousins now gives it up to Gray. Long 2 from Gray, not necessarily the smartest of jumpers. A foul's going to be called on Salustris. It's got to be an unsportsmanlike shortly. He's not playing at the ball, he's just trying to slow things down. It's a tactic you'd have got away with a few years ago, but not now. It's just absolutely blatant. It's a silly, silly play by Christos Salustris. You'd expect a veteran like him to be a little bit more smart with how he plays the game. It's going to be 2 shots now to Boacik. And you feel if he can make both of these shots, that really does seal the game out. Remember, they're going up against Tenerife to win the group. In that game, Bamberg win at the moment, sorry, not win, they're winning the game 79-74, a little over 2 minutes to play there. And all eyes, once this game finishes, will turn to that game in Bamberg. First is good from Boacik, as is the second. On their way to securing the win here, just 1:16 to play. 78-69. I'm not sure Peristeri have it in them, but I've said that before and seen massive comebacks in the Basketball Champions League, so I'm not going to write things off. Ruben now, backdoor pass. Oh, beautiful up and under, and everyone is bringing out their A game. Peter Bender with a real highlight play. 11-point lead for Nymburk, and you see the smiles on the bench. Timeout's been called, I think, by Peristeri. We're going to jump in and have a listen to Papanikolaopoulos, see what he has to say. Let's listen to his huddle.
Point guard here. You go here. You go. After the flare, you set the flare.
Not sure what coach Papanikolaopoulos is looking to do in these last few seconds here. Just over a minute to play. Surely it's a lost cause. They trail by 11. That's a big ask for any team in that short period of time. Maybe he's just working on a few things to keep momentum and keep focus, take into the postseason here in the Basketball Champions League, but a little over a minute to play. And what has been a wonderful exhibition, a wonderful game of Basketball Champions League. Nymburk lead by 11. Oh, and that's a circus shot from Stephen Gray. Almost out of bounds, jacks the triple up, banks it home for 3. Has a complaint at the ref, said he was fouled, saying he's faking things, I think, saying he's flopping. Gray up to 18 points. Ruben has been fouled in the melee. He'll head to the line for 2 free throws. Connects with the first. He's up to 13 points personal. It really has been a team effort offensively for Nymburk. 10-point lead now for Nymburk. Cousins drives the baseline, nothing there. Looks like they're going to slow things down. Good hustle into the hands of Moses. No good for the three. Gray holds on to it, and it's knocked away. 36.1 seconds remaining. 10-point lead for Nymburk. Remember, it's a 10-point win for Peristeri, so they're potentially playing for a head-to-head. It doesn't really matter hugely. Dalton now skips it to Ruben. Foul called on Salustris. Seems to be most of the time I've said his name is followed by the word foul. There's the foul. Ruben will head to the line for another 2 shots. His 4th foul. Only been on the floor 22 minutes. Ruben has drawn 4 fouls as well, most of them in the clutch phase of this game. Connects with the second as well. Ruben now up to 16 points personal. Sorry, 14 points personal. As they run out the clock here. The final stages, Nymburk lead by 12, and it's a wonderful way for them to close out their regular season. Shot goes up, is no good. Bender will bring the rebound in, and the fans will get to their feet. And that is a great way to close out the regular season for Coach Amir and his team. They finish out, they're on a 7-game winning streak. The final score here, Nymburk 84, Peristeri 72. And that result potentially gives Nymburk the chance to finish top of Group C here in the Basketball Champions League. We're waiting for the game in Bamberg to finish at the moment. Bamberg lead by 2 points, 17 seconds remaining. Remember, their opponents, Tenerife, if they lose that game, they'll finish second, and Nymburk will finish top. That will give them a potentially slightly easier ride in the first round of the playoffs. But what a game they've had here this evening. You see smiles on their faces, and rightfully so. A wonderful, wonderful exhibition of basketball from the home team. After allowing Peristeri to score 31 points in the first 10 minutes, they locked them down to 11 points in the second quarter, 11 points in the third quarter, and just 19 in that final quarter, whilst keeping their offensive production up at a reasonably high level. Wonderful sight. The fans get their high fives from the players, and the players certainly have appreciated the vocal support they've had here this evening. And plenty of stats to enjoy. Some good perimeter shooting from both teams. Unbelievable free-throw shooting from Nymburk. 19 from 20 there. They've won the battle of the boards, including 15 offensive rebounds. We've had a good game of Basketball Champions League action here between these two. They'll both progress through to the postseason of the Basketball Champions League. And Nymburk will progress on a high. Here are your top scorers. Booker 25, Ruben 16, Dalton 14 for Nymburk. For Peristeri, it's Gray with 18, Maria with 16, and Moses with 11. And both these teams now will wait to see what the results are from the other games around, and then they'll wait for the draw. That will be coming up in the next few weeks for who they face, how the bracket sits for the Basketball Champions League postseason. Because this signals the end of the regular season for these two teams, but both of them have made it into the top 4 of Group C. And that is the key for them. That is what they want. That's what they've been looking for, that postseason action. Nymburk will finish on a 12-win, just 2-loss record. Absolutely wonderful. For Peristeri, it's an 8-win, 6-loss record to close out their regular season here in the Basketball Champions League. We're still waiting for the result to come in from the Bamberg versus Tenerife game. That will determine who finishes top and who finishes second in this group. At the moment, it looks like Nymburk are going to upset the form book, the odds, and take top spot here in Group C. There's 11 seconds left in the game in Bamberg, and at the moment they lead by just 1 point over Tenerife. They've just hit the 3. I'm sure the fans have got their phones out, and they're probably on the Basketball Champions League app as we speak to see whether they can achieve what they didn't think they were going to probably at the start of the season, and that's topple Tenerife in this group. Tenerife, obviously one of the powerhouses in the Basketball Champions League. A wonderful achievement for Nymburk if they can topple them. But either way, they'll move through to the Basketball Champions League knockout phases as one of the top 2 teams in Group C with an unbelievably strong record. 12 wins, just 2 losses for Nymburk. The only losses came to Tenerife. That was a 10-point loss back in game day 4. And then to their opponents this evening, that also was a 10-point loss on the road to Peristeri. What a wonderful game we've had here this evening. And you can see some of the players hanging around to see what's happening elsewhere. Checking phones, going on to see where they finish in the group. You can see Boacek there. Here are the standings as they stand, though. Still to be decided whether Nymburk will finish top or second. But one thing is for sure, both Nymburk and Peristeri will make it through to the Basketball Champions League postseason. And things are just starting to get tasty as we finish the regular season off. Thank you for joining me here. Nymburk 84, Peristeri 72.
Dámy a pánové, ERA Nymburk je nejlepším celkem základní části celé ligy mistrů.
Jirko, obligátní otázka. Jak se ti líbil zápas tady na Královce?
Mně se líbil hodně. Já myslím, že měl velice zajímavý průběh, měl dobrou basketbalovou kvalitu a měl samozřejmě šťastný konec, nebo ten očekávaný konec pro domácí i pro nás, pro všechny.
Nymburk v první čtvrtině inkasoval 31 bodů, pak ale výrazně